If you read magazines and blogs about breakup, they will always tell you, go no contact and work on yourself. But what does it mean really to work on yourself? Every single day I have people calling me, explaining me their situation and telling me I've been working on myself for the past 3 months. And when I ask 2 or 3 questions, I realize they're missing the whole point. Not that you're potentially being wasting your time, you don't know what you don't know. But of course, as a relationship counselor, I see things differently from another point of view. I see what works. I see that relationships and fixing a relationship is really complex and takes some work, some time, some effort. And so the working on yourself bit, whether you want to get back with your ex or move on from this relationship, is, I think, your idea, is not exactly what you should be doing. And I'll explain to you everything after the jingle.
igetmyexback.com. Everyone deserves a second chance.
And so, what is not working on yourself? And you'll see these points, I almost took them from the 3-4 articles that I read preparing for this video. Get a new hobby, go out, change haircut, meet friends, start running, eat well. You can find 20 of those. These are great things. These will create a sense of being alive. Okay, this will potentially get you outside of your rut. This will probably help you release some dopamine and endorphin, right? And oxytocin. But it's not enough. If you do this, you're not going to address what's the real root cause of your problem. I'm going to explain what I mean by that. And I call it the second mountain. So there's a book called The Second Mountain. Have a read. It's a very good book. And similar to this concept of whenever you reach your goal, the first mountain, you realize that there's another one. And I think what people often realize when they climb this mountain, so they go out, they go to the gym, they are very, they go, they have parties and they call, friends and stuff like that. Listening to tips, which again, nothing bad will happen if you do that. You're surfing this wave of excitement, but very quickly, you're going to go downhill. Because this relapse, emotional relapse in a way, is because you faked, you distracted yourself from the real problem. And we always do that. For example, and I'm going to use the example of a diet to make a point for you to visualize this. When you start a diet, you can again read blogs and they tell you you need to eat this and that, and it's very easy to do. If you want to lose weight, be more active, eat more veg, less carbs, and skip a meal, for example. It's very easy, the plan is very easy. However, most people, if you try to do a diet, fail. Because the problem is not about it's not about the plan, it's about the resilience you build to follow this plan. And it starts in the mind. And so probably what you're doing right now, you're going on dates, but you don't feel interested in the people you meet. You go to the gym, you don't feel energized. You go to the gym like you're rowing and you don't really care. You go to the pub and you're not really listening to, paying attention to people who are next to you. You're going there because you know you need to go out, you don't want to be staying at home all day. Maybe you go to a class, but you feel like you're not listening. Your mind is somewhere else. If it sounds familiar, let me know in the comment section because I really want to have other stories of people going through this relapse. And it has nothing to do, I'll explain you why you feel this way. It has nothing to do with whether you're a good person or a bad person, whether you're weak or not. It has nothing to do with that. It's just that for those weeks or months, thinking that you were working on yourself, you were just not doing enough. Not that what you've done was useless, but that didn't fix the problem. Going back to the diet example, there's another book you should read. It's called The Intuitive Eater, and I'm using the same for Intuitive Lover. Intuitive Eater has, I think, 10 principles. It's basically looking at the diet as a holistic thing. And actually, one of the first principles is forget about diet. So there's something about reframing your mindset. Because otherwise you'll be in a situation where you're always fighting, where you're always running after something. And that's going to drain your energy. That's not going to create the results you want to have. So first of all, reject the getting back mentality. That's not the point. The point of working on yourself is really about you. And be honest with you. If you think like, no, I'm not thinking about my ex, but every single day when you go back to bed, or every morning when you wake up, you think about them. The amount of dates you're going to go to, the amount of the hours of gyms that you'll go this week will not solve this, because it's in the mind. And so challenge the way you see things, because I think the problem is, I know the problem is really about the limited belief. Understanding your emotions. The problem with breakup is that it creates such a variety of strong and nasty emotions that we are confused and we don't exactly know the baseline, basically. Also recognizing what you need to improve in your life, but also within yourself. And last but not least, you're doing that for you. You have to accept that what you're doing is not to create a reaction in your ex's mind, or change your ex's decision. You're doing it for you because you know it matters. You know that even if this relationship is over and maybe your ex won't give you another chance, the next one will be successful because you would have done the steps, you would have put the work in. And it's going to take some time. It's going to take some work. Now the science of motivation, because the thing is, it's depressing to get dumped. I've been in your shoes, it's awful. And we don't want to get up out of bed, we are useless at work, for example. The thing is, motivation follows action. And I think that's why it contradicts a little bit what I said before. I think it's good to go out. It's good to push yourself, to force yourself to go out. Watch my videos, but don't watch too many of them. I'd rather you watch one of my videos and meet 3 friends, or don't watch any of my videos and be more social, right? The problem is that, as we discussed with the first mountain, it's going to be very hard to sustain, because once you've reached the peak of the mountain, you'll realize that it's not that you climbed the wrong mountain, it's just that it's not enough. And you could be easily demotivated because you don't get the results you want. And willpower doesn't exist. I'm going to put an article in the comment section about willpower doesn't exist. I'm a strong believer that willpower doesn't exist. It's just a question of how you see yourself, how you see the world, how you set up your goal. Very often, of course I'm biased because I'm also a clinical hypnotherapist, willpower doesn't exist, because when I help people through hypnotherapy to overcome their fear, those limited beliefs, it's just that they had this unconsciously in their head stuck, preventing them from seeing what it is really. And of course there are things you can't do, and there are things you're better at or not really good at, but that's nothing to do with willpower. You're not weak. If you feel that you're struggling, it's just because you're using the wrong tools. And so right now what you have to do is to really optimize this challenge. If the person you're trying to get with was the one, even though I don't like this concept, if you've never felt like this with this person, it's your chance now to really optimize whatever you could do to make it work. And as we discussed, it's not by going online, dating and going to the gym that's going to do the work. So there's the environment aspect, of course. There's assessing the barriers. What are the things that are preventing you from getting back with your ex? Perhaps the solution is within yourself, perhaps the solution is outside. Who can help you? What sort of tools can help you? Do you need to see a therapist? Do you need to see a relationship counselor? Do you need to take a course on anger management? Do you need to, have a therapy around attachment? Right, there's a gap between where you are and where you want to be. In your relationship, you couldn't bridge the gap. So, realistically, how can you bridge that gap now on your own? I don't think that's possible. Realistically, I don't think that's possible. Another thing is around assessing the progress. I know you're probably watching a lot of my videos, and I'm really thankful for that. And I know watching my videos can have a therapeutical value. But at the same time, what I would love every single one of you watching my videos is to take action when you watch one of my videos. And I know when we consume content, we tend to go click to another video, click next, up until we're tired of watching things like that. I want you to take a break from this video, perhaps, and list down. What do you need? Who I need in my team? Why is it so hard? List out the thoughts, the negative thoughts, trying to uncover those limited beliefs. Of course, it's quite complex, and you might need someone to help you. But try to, take some notes and take some action. Have a plan. And if what you're doing is not working, if you've been binge watching content like mine, and you feel it's not working, well, get some help. Ask someone. I have a very lovely mustache this month because I'm raising funds for Movember. And the discovery calls, the 15-minute calls are no longer free because all the proceeds of those calls will go to Movember. I will put a link as well. There's so many links in this video. If you want to get in touch with me and if you want to also help me raise money, but if you book a 15-minute course and you have so many questions and want me to help you detail your plan and maybe check whether you will be a good fit working with me either on WhatsApp on video calls, have a look. I think it's $25. And it's all the proceeds will go to Movember. Hence this lovely mustache that I'm starting to to be okay with. If you have any other questions, you can also message me in the comment section. You can also like the video if you found it helpful, and if you want me to do more of those videos, you can also subscribe, share the love. I'll see you next time. Bye.
For a long time, get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer.